it's great to meet you. Thank you for taking a minute out. I'm looking forward to getting into Jazz Passion and Satin Latin. So thank you for taking a minute out.
Absolutely.
So,
Glad to be here.
yeah, me too. So before we get into the album, I know that going through this pandemic for musicians was a big deal, and it's influenced a lot of what's happened since. How did you ultimately survive that time period, and how has it residually affected the way that you do albums and your work now?
COVID pretty much put the air out of everything for everybody in the music world, in the arts world. You could be out playing anywhere, and that's your oxygen. I gotta be out playing.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So you're stuck, and I don't do like computer concerts at home or something, and that sort of thing. So right after COVID let up, after I think it was in 21, or was it earlier than that? When did COVID let up? I forget.
There was waves of it, and then the Omicron and all these variants would come in. So there was
Yeah.
breaks in action.
Right, yeah. So I think it was around 2021. We got I've been playing with a guitar player for years. He was this Joe Gaeta on the CD, and he lives in Santa Monica. I'm in Marina Del Rey, which is everything right nearby. And we would get together and just have jams in his house or my house, and different people coming over just to keep the thing going. And we'd even be wearing masks if some people felt like they had to. So we got a gig at a little Italian restaurant on Main Street called La Vecchia. They wanted to get their Sunday brunch going, so they thought have a little jazz group playing outside of the patio on Main Street. So we did it. We played right after the COVID. That was my first gig after all this live gig.
Yeah.
And we played every Sunday for a year and a half. Just picking tunes. I got a big fat, all of the choice of tunes are vast, as you know.
Yeah.
And the stuff that Joe Gaeta was used to playing, he's played a lot of Wes Montgomery stuff and East Coast jazz and Sam Jones tunes, or just some straight ahead tunes. And combined with the tunes I liked, and everybody, we just put it all together. And I was having so much fun, man. It was like I'm back to playing my jazz stuff, which I did back in the 70s more.
Yeah.
So so I said, man, after about a year and a half playing every Sunday, this is sounding too good. I got to record this. I'm like ripping it. Everybody's just like in the groove. We got it going on. It's like the time was right.
Yeah.
So I called up a piano player friend of mine who's just amazing. I've been playing jazz gigs and all kinds of gigs with him actually for years, Stuart Elster, and searched up my book for what drummer I thought would be perfect for playing this kind of stuff, because we're not just playing straight ahead. There's actually hits, kicks, and things that either are unique and different. Some of those Wes Montgomery tunes, like the jingles, it's got arrangements,
yeah,
and that sort of thing. So I got Ron Wagner on drums, who's just amazing. He played with Strunz and Farah years ago,
yeah,
and that sort of thing. And he plays all the Indian instruments and tablas, and he's actually was in India the entire month of November, playing with El Subramanian, the East Indian violin player that played with John McLaughlin.
Yeah.
When John McLaughlin had his what was it, Shakti.
Yeah.
His little playing all that all that Indian like stuff. I was like,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anyway, so we got together and we rehearsed for a couple of weeks, and they just came in and nailed it. We did everything live.
Yeah.
Came in the studio and just cut everything live. Several tracks of each, and just picked ones we wanted to use, and with minimal fixing or overdubbing anything. We didn't just we caught the moments.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, the COVID thing definitely took getting back to your original question. The COVID thing just took the air out of everything, and it was like, wow. So gradually the gigs started picking up. We can go back in the studio, getting the calls again. Unfortunately, a lot of the studio calls, I'm a first chair caller for a lot of the studio gigs, but throughout the years, things change. Some of the people I used to work for aren't around anymore. People die, people move, there's different things happen, and most of the work left town.
Yeah.
Prague, Warsaw, Budapest, Bratislava, 2 orchestras in London are working around the clock, playing all the movie dates, and we're, there's very few going on here. So unless you know the right person or the arranger or somebody to get in on a date, I'm glad I have time to do what I want to do.
Yeah.
Which is this, and I'm okay now. I don't need to take every little thing every time the phone rings. So I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting okay. I did well.
That's cool.
I got time to put my money in what I believe in. And so I'm finally living my dream. Finally get this is my first jazz CD after all these years. It's like
Wow.
uh, I've been playing jazz since the 70s.
And I hear stories like that all the time. This has to be like ecstatic for you to have this out, to be able to do this. And I'm sure it's just fueling you to put out more albums, right?
Yeah, we're going to the studio in February doing the next one.
Cool.
Because we went in, I wanted to record as much tune as I wanted, and then handpicked which going to be on the CD.
Yeah.
For we actually recorded 19 tunes live
Cool.
in 4 days.
Yeah.
And then I figured, wow, that's too much for a CD. I didn't actually think it all the way through. So I was like, I put as much as I could on one CD. It's almost more some people can listen to in one sitting,
Yeah.
72 minutes. But I wanted to actually put a couple more in. But I said, no, so actually I have 6 tunes in the can already
Cool.
in that session. So
Yeah.
we're going to go in and record 6 more tunes that follow the same vibe of what we're doing, and do it again in February.
So, as a veteran of the game here, to have your own name on this album, what are you ultimately hoping the listener gets from this sonic adventure that you're in?
That strings can swing,
Yeah.
and there's nobody's really doing it like the way I'm doing it,
Yeah.
and this kind of thing that we put together. I mean, I love all styles of music. I played everything, every non genre, and I enjoy if it's got heart and a soul and a beat, I'm in.
Yeah.
My ears have been open. I can pretty much play any style and do it well. So I could, but now that we're doing this, I love the combination because some of the tunes are Latin, some are jazz, straight ahead, and some are both. And within one tune, it starts out Latin, it goes into straight ahead. It's like so. I find it more interesting. It's not just like a long play of just the same solo over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah, another straight ahead blue, another straight ahead 1 2 a 1 2 3 4. Next song 1 2 a 1 2 or 1. Just it takes you on a little journey. I handpick these tunes and put them together, so it makes a very pleasant ride.
Yeah, I dig it. So take me back to the beginnings of your life. Where were you born and raised? How did this journey into music and more specifically jazz, how did this all happen for you?
I put this stuff away. It was on my computer. I'm sorry. Run that by me again.
So, how did this music journey take me back to where you're born and raised, and how did music, specifically in jazz, become who you are today?
Oh, absolutely. I just think he's popping up here on my computer. Go away.
Uh,
Okay, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
It's I was the youngest in my family, so my older brother got accordion lessons because my somebody gave my dad an accordion. They owed him money, and all they had was an accordion, so it ended up in our closet. By circumstance, my brother ended up playing the accordion, and I come along going, I want to play," and he pushed me away. So no, one in the family is enough. Plus, I put two scoops of sugar on my frosted flakes in the morning. I was like raring to go.
Yeah.
You know, so he got tired of the accordion. Then they bought him a piano. Then he got tired of the piano and they bought him an organ, little organ with a little bandbox thing on it. And he never could take to it. So I came home with a viola one day. My best friend was going to take the viola, and I said, "What?" And she said, "Well, my sister said everybody else will take the violin. If we take the viola, we'll be different." But okay, signed up, went right in, and just started getting good like right away, even just from the get go.
Yeah.
So I came home with the viola. I could go to my room, shut the doors. I had my world. While my folks were like yakking away and arguing, I could close my room and have my world of music. Studied the lessons right away and throughout the years. Kept playing, and my listening to music was always my saving grace. It's just kind of kept me sane.
Yeah.
I always had my world of music. So whether it was like classical, and I'm listening to like pop, radio, of course, rock, and whatever's going on, and then I found jazz. In '70, I remember I bought a Coltrane record in the '70s, early '70s, no, it was like late '60s or early '70s. I was like, wow, that opened my head to a whole nother area.
Yeah.
But it was way over my head. It was out of my concept.
Yeah.
Then in about '74, I got asked to be in this 30s swing band called Dr. Jazz. And it was like clarinet, played like Barney Bigard, guitar player played like Django Reinhardt, and I had to do the Grappelli thing. So I came home and listened to all these Grappelli records, Django Reinhardt Hot Club stuff, and learned how to play that happy jazz, the gypsy jazz stuff they call it now,
Yeah.
and fell in love with the American Songbook. After growing up being like just blues rocker, because the first thing I heard was the Johnny Winter playing slide on the guitar, and I was like sold on that. I was like, wow, why not playing the blues? And then that opened my whole passion and love for all the blues, the Willie Dixon, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Screaming, all that stuff. Anything that had heart and soul and guts to it, it moved me.
Yeah.
And but this learning the American Songbook was just a dream. I was just having fun. I was playing once a week at this place and in Venice, and the place was getting packed full of people, and the studio people sort of recording, all these different violin players, fiddle players, string players were coming down to see this hippie kid play jazz on the viola. And when Don Ellis was putting his big band back together, he's a jazz trumpet player.
Yeah.
And had electric string quartet with the big band.
Yeah.
And they said, you got to call this guy Jimbo. He plays, he'd be perfect for it. I went to meet Don Ellis, and very generous man. I showed up at the very first rehearsal at the Union, and he wrote a big band chart featuring me as a soloist. Scared the bejeebies out of me. We played our very first concert, and I took the book home and learned the whole book, because everything's in odd time signatures. Everything's in 5/4, 7/4, 11. Very challenging music. But he featured me as a soloist. He called me the only jazz violist in captivity. So I was like a wild man in a cage.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't exist.
Yeah.
I could unplug from the quartet and I run up in front of the whole big band, plug in, play a solo with a 22-piece big band behind me. It was like something I never experienced in my life.
Wow.
And it was either rise and shine or leave the stage, right? So I rose.
Yeah. Wow.
I did my schooling. I self-trained myself. I never had harmony lessons, any of that stuff. So I just had to being a viola player, I'm in the harmony section of the orchestra.
Yeah.
So all that harmony's been in my head.
Yeah.
So I could say it was easy for me to be able to hear. And maybe I think it's my impression that I took to it so easily and just found my own way to keep pushing myself. So I wasn't tired of hearing myself play.
Yeah.
I kept not still playing the same licks over again. I grew very rapidly quick. Great experience. So from that very first concert we played, the cello player told me, he said, be really nice to this guy who's coming to the concert. He'll get you work. I'm going, work? What? I was Jimbo the handyman in Venice.
Yeah.
I worked in a hardware store growing up as a kid, so I knew how to fix things.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'd moved to Venice, left home, quit school, became part of this swing band thing. And sure enough, this guy met me after the concert and called me that night, and we hired me for my first session, playing on all the like the Motown dates and all the Earth, Wind and Fire, Barry White, Donna Summer, even Sinatra, and whoever strings were on everything.
Yeah.
But I got in, and actually that band was the Dr. Jazz Band. I was that swing band was a place where I got the name Jimbo. That's where that came from.
So that's amazing. So what did you learn from someone like Don Ellis? What was seminal that reverberated throughout your career that he taught you?
Wow, just show up and bring it all, bring 100% all the time, because you never know when he would turn to me and say, Jimbo, solo on any song or anything. I had to have my wherewithal, where I actually trusted my instincts to be able to deliver, and I'm still growing and learning as I go. It's just soaking up every moment and just bring it, just bring it all with a good attitude.
Yeah.
And that's what kept it going for me.
So what has been the consistent thing for you throughout your career that's made you get up every day to create this music, to just do this work that you've done all these years? What has that motivation been for you?
It's my reason for living almost. It's like my passion, for life, and it's part of my whole being. When I'm not playing, I'm still the same energetic, giving. Music is like a conversation. Some people are good players, but they're not good musicians.
Yeah.
They can play like a million different notes, but they can't play with other people very well. They don't listen.
Yeah.
I learned a lot by listening throughout the years, and I just keep my eyes and ears open. Just dress up, show up, and keep your eyes and ears open.
Yeah.
And just what can I do to make any environment or any situation better? So I do that with music and also in my life. It's kind of parallels.
Absolutely. So, why do you love jazz? What, at the end of the day, this art form we call jazz, why do you love it?
It's free. It's free with form, however. So you pick the form you want to do it, the style you want to do it, and it enables me to just let my creativity flow. And that's why I handpick the tunes to have the right kind of chord changes, the right vibe. We create you know, record it a certain way that keeps it refreshing. It's not just another romp through another tune that's been done too many times. So I'd like to make it unique and different. Every tune to be saying something of its own. So I put a lot of time and thought into how to approach them and how to play them and who I play it with.
Yeah.
That's why I picked these guys. They're just amazing. Peter Marshall, this bass player, he played with the Woody Herman Big Band.
Yeah.
So he couldn't miss a note. And we played on a lot of the same records, just at different times.
Yeah.
We came in with strings doing after they laid tracks down when he played with a lot of different people as well. But he's like a ticking time bomb. Once he starts, man, he keeps the time and just nailing it. Joe Gator, the guitar player, is like fluent, straight ahead jazz. He's not a commercial player. That's all he's been doing forever.
Yeah.
Since and and Stu Elser on piano, just musical, just so tasty.
Yeah.
Without just a lot of chops, a lot of notes,
Yeah.
but everything is like there. And Ron Wagner, the drummer, he's catching like rhythm things that the band plays, and sometimes it's hard to find a drummer that's just not playing too busy.
Yeah.
Just play time, man, play time.
Yeah.
And but I was going to add percussion on the album, but he has added it where it was needed on some of the Latin grooves. All of a sudden, it'll be like, he'll just add it in there. I went, I don't want to clutter this up. It's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm curious, as somebody that's been around for a while, a veteran in this game, you've been around a lot of musicians from Don Ellis all the way down. What do you try to teach young musicians that you get around? What do you want them to understand about this art form?
Uh, Basically, it's not all about you. Music is about giving and combining. So don't come and think you own the place because they know a few licks and they think they know a few things, or they get all like high headed about it, high strung, which you run into a lot in Hollywood. You know, that's all from like lack of self self esteem. People make up for that by being overtly over the top. So I try to just be yourself, keep calm, just do the right thing, and bring your craft to make whatever you're doing sound better.
Yeah. So at the end of the
Yeah.
day, if you could get into a time machine and go back in time and see one musician live, where are you going? Who would you love to catch live?
Wow. Well, there's a whole long list. Besides just musicians, I think that as far as some musicians actually bring it. There's a lot of musicians I wanted to see. I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen James Brown live. I played with James Brown live.
Yeah.
People that actually not only put their heart and soul into it, they just deliver. I
Yeah.
played with Sammy Davis Jr., who just is what he is. He's just like Mr. Magic Man.
Yeah.
He would come into the musician room and say, "How y'all feeling tonight? Can I bring you anything?" It's like, wow. And he came out like a fireball, with his major talent. It's like, wow. And I would have loved to have been around in the 30s to actually see some of the real 30s bands when all that swing stuff started happening, and being in the Cotton Club and seeing the Ellington Band or something. And I saw stuff on Grappelli a few times. I was actually supposed to do a live album with him.
Wow.
And he got at the Vine Street Bar and Grill, and that he got ill, and the tour got canceled. And he passed away shortly after that.
Wow.
But that would have been a dream. I would love to see like Louis Armstrong with Stuff Smith when they play Stuff Smith. He was a wild man on the violin. He could swing like a mother, though.
Yeah.
He's very loose. But man, he got a lot of respect from all the horn players as a kid, the cat that could do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, everyone out there has a perception of you. Family, friends, fans, everyone that you play with, your band, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
I'm the master of my own destiny here,
Yeah.
and bringing my posse with me. That makes that completes the picture. I can't do this all by myself. So surround myself with the right kind of musicians that are in it, and we communicate where it just flows. We feed off each other, and that's when the match. That's like the most beautiful experience in the world to
Yeah.
experience that. And at the end of the day, you're going, wow,
Yeah.
that felt good.
Yeah.
And when people pick up on that and you playing it and it's all making sense, it's just, wow, you guys are like, what are you doing playing at this little place? You
Yeah.
know, you should be out there on a world stage. I'm going, working on it.
Yeah.
You know,
Speaking of, if anyone wants to catch you live, where's the best place?
well, right now, there's nothing planned. We're for the album just came out in August, and
Yeah.
we've been playing around a little bit, and then we're taking time off for the rest of the year. My drummer's in India for the month of November, playing with El Subramaniam. I think I mentioned that. El Subramaniam played with the Shakti group with John McLaughlin. He's having a resurgence. He's in India
Yeah.
for a month, and he's got another thing he's doing. So we're going to record in February.
Cool.
And I think we're even as a trio, which we started out as guitar, bass, and myself, we can go out and play little places anyways. So I have nothing scheduled at the moment, but I'd like to go out and start promoting it big time. First of the year, playing some clubs around town, even like the Baked Potato or, you know, there aren't many jazz clubs in LA worth playing because some of the other ones are like Vibrato, which is the Herb Albert Club up in the hills, towards Beverly Hills area. And they charge a big cover and you got to buy dinner. And I can't invite all my friends to come and just drop $200 just to come and see me play.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's, and hopefully you can, I need to get some management, some tour booking, some booking management touring people, agent of some sort to help me out, get the group out there that gets what we're doing. And
We,
go, man, you guys need to be here and there and there. That's why I called Mike Herzog to get me on the radio. Well, I don't know how to get me on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
You call the pros.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to getting you on the radio, and I would love to see you in Kansas City. So the latest album, Jazz Passion and Satin Latin, is wonderful. I'm looking forward to profiling it. If anyone wants to pick up a copy that's going to benefit you the most or any of your previous work, find out what's going on, where do they go?
JimboRoss.com, which
it.
takes you to my record label, which is BodaciousRecords.com. It's easier to type in JimboRoss.com than it is Bodacious Records, I guess. So either or. And everything's there, the streaming, the Spotify, the downloading, or you can buy hard copy CDs. I sell them through, what's it called? Sound. I forget what the...
Bandcamp?
Bandcamp, thank you.
Yeah. Bam. Yeah. And I'll put links up for that, so we'll get that out there and get that going. Jimbo, this has been fascinating, man. Thank you for your story. Thank you for your time. Best of luck with the album and everything else. Have a great holiday season and a 2025.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah, absolutely.